apartment and get on with my life had made me vulnerable to losing control of everything else in my life. The animal control job was a 1-year contract. Temporary, a stopgap, Lev said, while I got better. Even so, I resisted the urge to hang up on the man who had once been a good friend, resenting both the suggestion that I might be interested in such a job and the barely disguised pity with which it was offered. "I know this is hard for you, Coop, but I really do need a good man in the position. The applicant pool around here is pretty shallow. The only other guy is a preppy grad student our first selectman is pushing on me. I thought of you because—" I cut him off. I didn't want to hear his justifications. You, of all people, know why I don't want to come back. It's history, man. Ancient history. There are so many new people around here, they don't even know who Bull is. It's not just Bull, and you know it. I spent 2 decades on the other side of the law from my brother. We Harrisons don't have a sterling reputation in this town. Harrison is a pretty common name, and Jimmy's not around anyway. Hasn't been for years. As well I knew. My older brother was incarcerated in the prison at Walpole in the 11th year of his 12-year sentence for drug trafficking. Lev's words might, once again, have fallen on my, literally, deaf ear, but they came just when my wife Gail had had enough. It was when Gail broke it to me that she wanted me out of the house. She couldn't take what she called my moods anymore, that I finally listened to what my old basketball teammate had to say. Gail rested her fingers on the open mouth of the fifth of bourbon, which had become my drink of choice. "I'm going to the gym. Why don't you come with me?" She picked up the cap and screwed it back on. I watched her slowly twist the cap, a casual motion. No recriminations, just a maternal, "that's enough for you," acted out with a tightened bottle cap. "No, thanks, I'm fine. You go ahead." It's a conversation we'd had over and over, and I could tell that she was growing impatient with me. No, impatient isn't the word. Worried, concerned, maybe even bored. Tired of me and my inconsolable grief. She'd held my hand. She'd held my head when I'd gone too far with the bourbon. She'd held her tongue. "Really, I'm just fine. Kinda tired, so you go." I had my eye on that bottle, wondering if she'd notice if another inch was missing when she got home from the gym. She disappeared into the bedroom, then reappeared, kitted out in flattering spandex. "Hey, Gail," I said. The hostility in her eyes was liquid. There is a sheen to the human eye when anger and frustration sheath it in damned tears. "You look great." It was my clumsy attempt at a mollifying compliment, but she wasn't buying it. "How would you know? When was the last time?" She didn't have to say anything more. Along with everything else I'd once held dear, our marital relations had suffered with my descent into the black hole of despair. She knew I was lying. Gail didn't look fine. She looked pinched and angry, and I knew it was my fault. But you can't stop being sad just because some shrink says that you should be moving on. Midnight, and I was still awake, the ringing in my ear singing to me in the quiet of a lonely man's vigil. It sang of self-doubt, of regret. It sang of another night, deeply cold, stars so bright they could make you believe in God. I stood on the balcony, which was the real estate company's primary sales feature of the condo. Look, a view of the city, cheap at the price. Behind me was the closed sliding door that kept my wife from hearing the sound of the bottle repeatedly touching the rim of my glass. In the near distance, with my good ear, I could hear the barking of a dog, a throaty, mean-it kind of bark, a warning. I was dwelling on my loss, maybe even wallowing in it. The good news for me was that I knew that's what I was doing. The bad news, it had become a comfortable place, but one that didn't really allow for anyone else. Gail just didn't get my failure to get over Argos's loss. I had Argos, my police dog, long before I knew Gail. You don't get many dogs like Argos. Full-on police dog when tracking down